I don't think she knew what was real and what was not. She seemed okay not knowing. I don't think she wanted to.
Keep off the walls.
But I must get to work. I've locked the door and thrown the key down. I don't want to go out. I don't want anyone to come in.
Rest.
I find it hard to turn my hand over for anything. I'm getting dreadfully fretful and
Querulous.
querulous.
Querulous. Querulous. Querulous. Adjective definition. To complain once, complain a lot.
I cry at nothing and cry most of the time. Of course, not when John is here or anyone else for that matter. But when I am alone, and I am alone a good deal just now. John is kept in town on very serious cases, and Jenny is good and lets me alone when I want her to. So I go for a walk down that lovely lane, sit under the porch, underneath the roses, or just lie up here a good deal. I'm getting rather fond of the room, in spite of the wallpaper.
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 Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Paper. Wallpaper. 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 Wallpaper.
Rest. Start again.
I find it hard to turn my hand over for anything. I'm getting dreadfully fretful and querulous. I cry at nothing and cry most of the time.
Nothing.
Of course,
Of
not when John is here or anyone else for that matter.
Of course.
But when I am alone, and I am alone a good deal just now. John is kept in town on very serious cases.
Very serious.
And Jenny is good and lets me alone when I want her to. So I go for a walk down that lovely lane. Or lie up here a good deal. Getting rather fond of the room, in spite of the wallpaper.
I walk up and down that lovely lane. Sit under the porch. Under the roses. And sit up here a good deal. I'm getting quite fond of the room. In spite of the wallpaper.
If you ask me, she was stuck constantly in the grey area between reality and no one really knew where. Only her. That was the problem. Only she knew. I could see her lost in wherever she was. She was there in front of my eyes, but she couldn't see me. So it didn't matter that I kept her alone. I didn't feel guilty, and she seemed content, like she wasn't alone at all.
The wallpaper does move. And no wonder. The woman behind shakes it. Sometimes I think it's a great deal of women. And then others just one. The wallpaper does move. And no wonder. The woman behind shakes it. Sometimes I think it's a great deal of women. And other times only one. The wallpaper does move. And no wonder. The woman behind shakes it. Sometimes I think it's a great deal of women. And other times just one.
Rest. She doesn't look well, does she, John? No, she doesn't.